with my feet up in the trap, I'm doing me. I'm doing me. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up in the trap, I'm doing me. Keep my distance from these suckers, I can't let them ruin me. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me. 13 jumped off the porch with drugs is influence me. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up, keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up in the trap, I'm doing me. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up, keep back with my feet up. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me. Way to work naked like a skinny dipping, no cross to read it for the crucifixion. Fold out, couple screws missing. Paranoid, leaving superstition. No paper in the river fishing. Need a stone, word, need a kitchen. Without a diamond, still shine glistening. Sell it around so everybody itching. Party strong, trying to for a mission. Mathematics, simple addition. Bad luck like a bad shit. One of the few still a better street, no matter what. Never act different, no GPS. Money back tripping. Money cup, guess I'm back sipping. Like that's the kid, I guess I'm back at hey, I'm keep back with my feet up in the trap, I'm doing me. Keep my distance from these suckers, I can't let them ruin me. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me. 13 jumped off the porch with drugs is influence me. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up, keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up in the trap, I'm doing me. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up, keep back with my feet up. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me.
I was riding in the tourist, dreaming on the way. Got another up, I'm another day. Go by the X-Plane, pop running up. Back down with the dude, shot a triple A. Real reach, had a rally, it's a runner up. Ball running up, watch the running up. I'm a star cloud now, I'm a understate. Roll running show, money get it straight up. Play brother, finna kill every money way. Riding money show, man, press 100 up. I was counting money way back 100 up. 700 up, boy, money 100 up. HD lifestyle, let me 100 up. 400 up, rock on 100 up. Being legal, I carry 34 up. Sticky time up, nigga got a
hey, I'm keep back with my feet up in the trap, I'm doing me. Keep my distance from these suckers, I can't let them ruin me. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me. 13 jumped off the porch with drugs is influence me. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up, keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up in the trap, I'm doing me. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up, keep back with my feet up. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up in the trap, I'm doing me. Keep my distance from these suckers, I can't let them ruin me. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me. 13 jumped off the porch with drugs is influence me. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up, keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up in the trap, I'm doing me. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up, keep back with my feet up. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me.
She said she wanted rough. First I lay across the bed, then I stand up in them guts. I put my hand around her neck and I just beat that pussy up. Got her coming back cause she can't get enough. First I grab her by the weave, then she throw it back. Flip her over, got her scratching up my back. I just wanna have a fuck fight. She just wanna have a fuck fight. Bend it over, bend it over. Let her ride that dick, hammer stroker. I just wanna have a fuck fight. She just wanna have a fuck fight. Bend it over, jug in it. Stand up in this pussy, then you jug in it. First I beat it, I'm a fool with it. Got that pussy gushing like a motherfucking pool in it. Nella with that hammer, bust it open, let me get it. Told her bend it over, touch the floor and let me hit it. Fuck that pussy so good, she can't hardly stand me. Laid her on the bed and told her I'm your pussy nanny. You know what you're doing every time you make me wait for it. If it didn't belong to me, I'll probably pay for it. Grab her by the weed, smack that booty while I bang her. I done shot a whole round, one left in the chamber. First I grab her by the weave, then she throw it back. Flip her over, got her scratching up my back. I just wanna have a fuck fight. She just wanna have a fuck fight. Bend it over. Let her ride that dick, hammer stroker. I just wanna have a fuck fight. She just wanna have a fuck fight. Pussy penetrating, got it jumping, bitch, get it. Turn around and ride it from the back, bitch, get it. Pussy sitting pretty, but you know I'm about to kill it. I go hammer in the bed, I go loco when I hit it. Loco when I hit it, I go loco when I hit it. I lay in the middle, drop that ass, bitch, split it. It's heaven now when I come hit you with the pipe. Girl, the weed and the liquor got me going all night. First we fighting, then we fucking, then we fucking, then we fight. First we kissing, then we licking, then I stick it, then she bite. First I grab her by the weave, then she throw it back, flip her over, got her scratching up my back. I just wanna have a fuck fight. She just wanna have a fuck fight. Bend it over, bend it over. Let her ride that dick, hammer stroker. I just wanna have a fuck fight. She just wanna have a fuck fight. I just wanna have a fuck fight. She just wanna have a fuck fight. I just wanna have a fuck fight. She just wanna have a fuck fight. Bend it over, bend it over. Let her ride that dick, hammer stroker. Bend it over, bend it over. Let her ride that dick, hammer stroker. I just wanna have a fuck fight.
Come on, Don.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's me. Yeah. You the little nigga that caught the rebellions, probably on 10. Yeah, that's me. You the little nigga just got out of jail, they know you didn't tell. Yeah, that's me. You the little nigga who ran up a meal like you had a deal. Yeah, that's me. Niggas on chill. Yeah, that's me. The ice in my ear. Yeah, that's me. You the little nigga that caught the rebellions, probably on 10. Yeah, that's me. You the little nigga just got out of jail, they know you didn't tell. Yeah, that's me. You the little nigga who ran up a meal like you had a deal. Yeah, that's me. Niggas on chill. Yeah, that's me. The ice in my ear. Yeah, that's me. I got some haters to kill. I got some haters won't live. I put your body on chill. I tell them fuck how they feel. Nigga don't pull in Spring Hill. Know where you live. All of my hitters like style. I pull up like rockabye. Sing you a lullaby. Yeah, I'm not the nigga who got a lie. Nigga that got a spot. Don't need no alibi. Nigga just talking. Don't want no action. Lay in the closet. Right where you trapping. Shooting the dog. Don't need no glasses. Lost in the sauce. Loving my fashion. I fuck with the niggas who wanna bow trap at the corner store. 5 the burner dope. The trappers who want some more packaging. Run a slow breaker and set it slow. Spinning that noise, that's me. Got them blue boards, that's me. I bought a new toy, that's me. I been in for a door, that's me. This shit historically. My bitch got a Georgia peach. Her ass like a horse in the sea. I got some more of this heat. You nigga get swept off your feet. Your bitch on my hands like a leash. I got the hustle and flow. Got the O's by the door. They get it in gold money. I got the cushion on low. My paper don't fold. Ain't talking no stole money. You get the flu if I sneeze. My jury on free on track like the cleats. I got the proof that you need. My cushion no C's. I'm dusting off fleas. Yeah. Ain't gonna beef with your brother called DC and gutter. You looking for trouble? Come beef out the boat. Got some niggas when fed. Get kicked out this bread. Put a bill on your head. Your white shirt turn red. I'm really a CEO. I'm really a boss. Talk to him CO cause these niggas lost. The pot of whole rollin' and take a day off. Or murder a baby bitch. Nobody saw. You the little nigga that caught the rebellions. Probably on 10. Yeah, that's me. You the little nigga just got out of jail. They know you didn't tell. Yeah, that's me. You the little nigga who ran up a meal like you had a deal. Yeah, that's me. Niggas on chill. Yeah, that's me. The ice in my ear. Yeah, that's me. You the little nigga that caught the rebellions. Probably on 10. Yeah, that's me. You the little nigga just got out of jail. They know you didn't tell. Yeah, that's me. You the little nigga who ran up a meal like you had a deal. Yeah, that's me. Niggas on chill. Yeah, that's me. The ice in my ear. Yeah, that's me.
Your sippers running amok, truth. They running amok. They having a whole cat fight.
What you said?
Your sippers is running amok. They having a whole cat fight.
I digress.
That's the first news story. Tony! Don't play sleep, Tony.
MoneyBoy.
We need some wise words of wisdom from you, OG.
He ain't got none. He ain't got shit. He ain't got no damn wise words. He missing
What are you
too.
talking about?
He
What are you talking
missing.
about, Drew?
He missing.
That's the first story. I don't know what the hell happened, but it's a cat fight. It's a cat fight of brewing. I just, it ain't my fault this time. I ain't do it. All I remember was D Truth saying Shawty was asleep and our hair broke loose. I agree. I don't know what happened. They'll work it out. White Jesus will fix it though. Y'all will be all right. So the first story we get comes from see the first story I had to go ahead.
My dad told me never trust a bald head eagle.
What the hell is a bald? What a bald head eagle got to do with what?
ain't all eagles bald headed.
You stupid, Trey.
So you can't trust eagles. You don't trust birds. Okay,
you know what? I can't.
Don't trust. No, I get you. I feel it. Words. You hush, Truth. Like you got a whole scenario with Quee going on. This is enough.
Trey, you is such a hater. You need to stop. You really need to stop. I mean, get over
taking
it.
her for a tilapia and shrimp platter. What kind of shit?
Not tilapia. No. Captain D's got the bomb man's catfish. That's what they got. The bomb man's catfish.
Where the fuck is a Captain D's at?
We got Captain D's here. You know what's gone? And you know what's making me pissed? Long John Silver's is gone. You remember them?
Gone in Memphis.
Yeah, they've been gone here too. 86. But I used to like Long John Silver's over Captain D's. I did. Sure did.
Box. No, this first story is crazy. Of course, it's a 2-minute and 36-second video. They might fuck with me for it. We'll see though. They don't. Yeah, just tell me what y'all think.
78-year-old Willie Hampton's viral videos have racked up thousands of views. His cooking tutorials that highlight making a meal with only the barest of necessities. Fox 13's Jack Bilyeu is live at the Federal Correctional Institute of Memphis. So, Jack, what's the prison got to do with cuisine?
Well, you might not look at this place and think of fine dining, but behind those walls, Willie Hampton's been cooking up some good stuff. He's been locked up here for more than 20 years, but he's turned his cell into a kitchen that can compete with the best of them.
Morning, outside world.
Willie Hampton might be wearing a khaki jumpsuit, but at heart, he's wearing chef's white.
What you got going on right now?
Okay, these are my meats.
He's posted dozens of cooking tutorials to his Facebook page.
I'm gonna throw a little cheese on this too.
Using only what he can find behind bars.
Today is Thursday, and this is the only day in the VOP that we get any kind of meat, if you can consider chicken as being meat.
His methods are unusual.
Outside world, I put this on everything. Smoked barbecue sauce, that's all it is.
He cooks up dishes like fried rice or beef and broccoli in trash bags using a makeshift stove built out of soda cans and powered by Vaseline.
We got my candles going, full flame, meaning my cell is smelling like new money.
Yes, I decided to try it for myself, but couldn't get the stove to light using batteries and a gum wrapper like Hampton does. Oh, ow!
Like the caveman, we have fire.
Ow! The batteries are just hot. So I used a lighter to start it instead, but the fire burned through the plastic bag and spilled my macaroni, then started burning out of control, producing thick black smoke. Now, we tried to cook mac and cheese with the prison stove for about half an hour and couldn't make any part of it work.
That nigga got a cameraman in jail and
videos,
Facebook.
It makes it look easy.
And guess what? I was thinking about sharing it with my buddies. Guess what? I had second thoughts.
We reached out to FCI Memphis to see about their policies on inmates using social media and electronic devices. We did not hear back. Now, Hampton's serving a life sentence for drug charges. If you'd like to see some of his cooking videos, you can find a link on our website, fox13memphis.com. Daryl?
All right, Jack, when you get back, I'm going to teach you how to use a jet.
That's how the feds in Memphis is. I don't know about where you niggas is, but it's cushy. Nigga got a cameraman. He got a whole reality show and got them in jail. The news then came to see this man about his Facebook videos. And not in a negative way, like, nigga, why are you even on Facebook anyway? How did you get this cell phone? them ain't questions they wanted to know. They wanted to know how this nigga was lighting the fire. That's the first news story. True, you got anything, True? Is the cat fight still going on or they didn't got over?
I don't know.
They both old. They ought to be tired of swinging by now.
Child. I'm still stuck on this story about how you can have a whole phone and feds and they ain't said nothing. They ain't took it. Shit.
I'm gonna say it again. The news saw this nigga Facebook videos and went to interview this nigga.
They allowed the
his
interview.
stove method.
They allowed the interview.
Yes.
He still got his phone.
So they knew he was doing cooking show. This nigga got a whole cooking show in jail.
Damn. What is this word?
Holla at Zeus, G. I'm saying they giving out shows. They're giving out the shows. Holla at Zeus. But the feds is cushy. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Boosty. They said he was granted bail, then they said he wasn't. I don't know what's going on with
I told you they won't release him.
It's just a whole bunch of fun. Then they said he had pleaded guilty and was gonna take probation when the feds came in and said, not enough. Come on, boy. It's just a whole bunch of fuck shit going on. I just don't know what's going on.
They got it out for my Bootsy.
But ain't he getting a check for his cooking show and all that shit?
Probably on Facebook.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he probably got it to somebody that's sending him, putting it on his books.
That's smart motherfucker.
That's if he done went viral. This nigga doing life.
Wow.
On drugs. On drugs. Yep. That's how my cousin was. Today,
he probably been locked up about 30 years.
The Obama pardon before he left.
I don't know why them niggas, that should be something they do yearly instead of just releasing a whole bunch of them. There don't be a whole bunch, just except for releasing people on their way out the door. So it's something they do yearly.
Yeah, them niggas that were happy though when they got out. They did down up 35 years.
Even if they don't do number one from each state every year, it's 50 people, one from each state. It's fair. It's let out. 200 people at the end of your thing instead of just doing 75 on your way out the door. Makes sense to me. Damn it, I lost my spot. Where's the second story? The next one, this one here is, what's it called? This is, I hate this nigga, but he be having all the stories. Worker files complaints, finds 3 severed heads on desk as retaliation. What kind of heads is this? This sound like that Chinese coded lady. Whatever.
On your desk are 3 severed heads of humans on your desk. Put it up full mass. That's exactly what happened to one worker, a delivery man for a nonprofit. His name is Dale Whitley. Delivery man for a nonprofit called the Anatomical Gift Association of Illinois was shocked when he arrived at work one day to find sage burning with 3 severed heads placed on top of his desk. He calls it an act of retaliation for a recent series of complaints he filed with local regulators about the conditions of the facility and treatment of human remains. Let me give you some background to the nonprofit. The nonprofit, the Anatomical Gift Association of Illinois, is a group of 8 in-state medical schools with a shared mission. According to the organization's website, the AGA procures, prepares, and preserves donations for medical and scientific study, and making its facilities open to health professionals and students. The donations obtained by the AGA are an individual's body after death, their website explains. Now, according to Mr. Whitley, the place is deplorable, he said. It's in shabby conditions, he said at a press conference this week, reported by the Chicago Tribune. If you're in there for more than 5 minutes, if you start walking around, you start to stick to the floor. In comments reported by Chicago-based Fox affiliate WFLD, Whitley said some donated bodies have been returned to the nonprofit due to the poorly preserved and kept state they are in. They're sending donors back because of mold and rot and bugs, he said. There's been instances where I pulled donors from our storing room out of the racks and rats have chewed through the bottom of the bag, through the feet. When confronting his supervisor about the 3 heads, he says, my boss walked by.
So wait a minute. So this nigga is complaining because he snitched and the people got him back for snitching. Nigga, you heard the saying snitches get stitches. They just gave you some severed heads from the place that y'all work at. I thought this was deeper than that, like we had an axe murderer on our hands or some shit. Man, look. Too sensitive.
I asked him why the heads were at my desk. He told WFLD. He said they need to get back with their bodies so we can send them to cremation. I said, I understand that. Why are they at my desk? And he said, oh, I don't know, Dale. There's a lot of strange things happening. The heads, Whitley added, had an obnoxious smell. Let's put him up. There he is. However, AGA Executive Vice President William O'Connor strongly disputes the allegations presented by Dale Whitley. The Tribune reported, he said the group received some bodies in poorer states than others and denied that Whitley was retaliated against. He also noted that handling body parts is part of his job description because he manages the rack room where bodies are stored before being sent out in a van. Let's keep the picture up. Please understand, the story that he's spinning now, he had that story prepared before he put them damn heads on your desk. That's my opinion. He already knew what he was going to say if somebody posed the question.
Dr. Richard, I don't think your production was supposed to be heard laughing. They could hold this shit. They said, can't take this shit. They lay hard as hell.
The story that he's spinning now, he had that story prepared before he put them damn heads on your desk. That's my opinion. He already knew what he was going to say if somebody posed the question. I'm just telling you how they think. The rack room manager also filed a police report after the dismembered heads appeared on his desk. But according to his attorney, he doesn't want to have to file a lawsuit. He just wants to return to work once conditions there are changed. Wow. Okay. I don't care where you work. Having 3 human heads on your desk when you show up is not appropriate, period.
What if you work at a funeral home? You said you don't care where you work. Like, what if you work?
Appropriate. Wise thoughts here, man.
I think back to my time in like a super duper corporate setting in office, and oftentimes you have disputes with your coworkers. It's commonplace.
Can't wait. Like Bart Scott.
in damn near every single workplace. It's actually an anomaly when you don't have these petty squabbles. And oftentimes it would result in, passive aggressive Post-it notes on the fancy creamer that's in the fridge and things of that nature, right? You might get a talking to from HR where it's like, oh, somebody didn't like the off-color remark or whatever, and you kind of move on with your life. Everybody understands that being pretty petty and that this isn't really important. Severed human heads on your desk when you get back to work. That is a new standard of workplace pettiness. And I really, truly do. Oftentimes I think we're a little bit too litigious in this country. I wish we could just come together and amicably solve our differences a lot of times. But I really hope this brother sues the pants off of this place. Yeah. This is insane.
Yeah, I mean, right now he's saying, hey, I just want the conditions to change. That's the easy win for the company. The brother wants to just go back to work without human heads on top of his desk. If you can't accommodate that, you deserve to get sued.
He need to stop crying. He shouldn't be snitching. What you got, D-True? You still sad? You still ain't got nothing? All right, we go again.
Well, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you, Trey.
What?
I couldn't hear. I'm hearing you now, but I couldn't hear you earlier. And then
Is that me?
And then
I ain't seen nobody in the chat say they couldn't hear me.
And of course, all I hear is human heads on the desk, and I'm like, what the hell? Okay.
Yes, strange news story.
That's about as strange as it gets.
Back in Memphis.
36 pages of reports uncovered by WRAG investigators detailing the Tennessee Highway Patrol's response to the Wilder Youth Development Center in Fayette County. It's where teenage boys from across the state are sent when they're found guilty of a violent crime and pose a significant risk to their community. Take a look. Between July 2022 and March 2023, THP was called in as backup multiple times. They responded to at least 2 fights, confiscated contraband, helped search dorms, and served a warrant. They assisted with an attempted escape and the escape of 3 juveniles in March. You see there, caught on a neighbor's camera. THP also took a concerning report from one of the youth housed there, stating he was being sexually assaulted by other youth there. He says he reported it to employees, but nothing was done. In February, THP also reported several juveniles attacked and assaulted a staff member, stealing their cell phone and keys before locking them in a cell.
Obviously, it is not in good shape. I think that the Department of Children's Services is doing the best it can with the resources that it has.
Memphis Shelby Crime Commission President Bill Gibbons has said time and time again he's concerned about the conditions there, as well as the Fayette County Sheriff's Office.
When
have money.
These large disturbances would occur, or when an escape would occur, it would often take all of the manpower that we had on a shift to assist out there.
In April, WRAG investigators uncovered from 2019 through 2022, deputies responded to 24 assault calls, 4 sexual assaults, riots, fights, and several escapes. The sheriff's office told us the facility was outdated and never built to be what it is.
The way the facility is designed now, I don't know if it's financially or fiscally responsible to even try to retrofit that facility. It may just be a situation where they end up having to build a new one. And I know that's something that they're going to have to research and explore to determine.
The Tennessee Highway Patrol started responding to Wilder in the last couple of years to help Fayette County deputies. Meanwhile, the Tennessee Department of Children's Services, which runs Wilder, stated it made changes like bringing in private security, reducing the population, increasing staff salaries to help with hiring and retention, and providing new education opportunities.
We know we can't put any more youth there until we hire staff.
A legislative committee tasked with examining youth crime recently recommended a new facility to expand the number of beds. DCS stating, Commissioner Quinn has provided very transparent testimony in numerous hearings about the lack of capacity throughout the juvenile justice facilities in the state. And they will continue to work closely with the administration and the General Assembly for future expansion opportunities. State officials told us an outside firm did an assessment to figure out what needs to happen next. It's been completed and is currently being reviewed. Jessica Gertler, WREG News Channel 3.
We begin with a case that has been.
Now, the name of this one is Woman Found Melted into Couch. Murder charges for parents thrown out.
Wait, a woman or a child?
A woman was found melted into a couch. I don't even know how that's possible, but it's a story. Where's this out of? Is this in Houston? Let's go for it.
Hard for even the most seasoned investigators to forget. We begin with a case that has been hard for even the most seasoned investigators to forget. The death of Lacey Fletcher. Last January, what was left of her rotting 100-pound body was found embedded, melted into a couch in her parents' Louisiana home. Investigators say the sofa was soaked with urine, feces, and other bodily fluids. Fletcher was disabled, and her parents, according to police, just left her there for years until she died. WBRZ Chief Investigative Reporter Chris Nakamoto has been following the investigation from the very beginning. He joins us with an update that we first brought you here on The Factor months ago.
And joining us on The Factor Uncensored tonight is Chris Nakamoto, investigative reporter from WBRZ TV in Baton Rouge. Chris, you and I talked about this very disturbing case several months ago involving Lacey Fletcher, the 36-year-old who died in a parent's house. For those who don't know the past history, first tell us how she was found in a parent's house, and then we'll get to the latest news.
It was just an extraordinary situation. Paramedics showed up at her house last January, and they found her literally melted into the couch, covered in feces, looked like her hair hadn't been brushed for years, totally neglected. The coroner's office ruled that she was totally neglected. She was literally fused to the sofa. This as her parents were coming and going, living normal lives, going to work. Meanwhile, they have their daughter who had not gotten up from the sofa in what the coroner estimates was possibly years.
Wow. And what kind of illness did she have that they left her on that sofa without attending to her?
She had a condition called Asperger's syndrome. And so essentially it was just kind of a situation where she became more and more reclusive. A lot of the neighbors told us as we began covering the story, they used to see her outside playing, and then all of a sudden they stopped seeing her as she got older. And so they just thought that maybe she had moved on and moved away. But it turns out she was living right there in her parents' living room, and that's where she died, unfortunately, as well.
Now, initially, when this case broke, her parents were charged with murder. But now there's been a change in that, right?
That's right. So they were charged with murder and cruelty to the infirm. And from our understanding, it can't be both. And so as the DA was kind of looking at everything, their lawyers filed some court motions that basically had those charges removed because the indictment had some added language after. And so the new indictment was tossed on a technicality, but we did speak with the district attorney, and he says he plans on bringing it back up and having this couple re-indicted because he believes justice won't be served until they serve jail time.
Now, this brought a lot of public outrage. A lot of people have been following this. Even here at Fox 26 in Houston, our story was viewed 1 million times. People just outraged by this. Is there a chance that if this mother and father of Lacey Fletcher's re-indicted, could it be a lesser charge, or will it still be murder? Because I think people are concerned about that.
Certainly anything's a possibility, but when we spoke with the DA, it sounds like he's trying to press on and go after these two people on the murder charge because of what had happened to Lacey. When we spoke with the coroner last year, he said, you know, look, I deal with death every day, and this is something that I can't even get out of my head. The smell was just awful. He said, the minute he walked into that house, he left and actually had to vomit in the front yard. And so he said, the fact that I deal with death all the time, and this impacted me in such a way, it's extraordinary to think that these people, her mom and dad, were literally living their lives, coming and going, and no one managed to know that their daughter was sitting there rotting away on the sofa of their living room.
No, it's my understanding, and I could be wrong, that the mom and dad are out on bond right now while all of this is going on.
That's correct. So they were out on bond initially after they were charged, but now that the indictments have totally been tossed, that bond really doesn't exist anymore because those charges are invalid. So the DA says within the next 2 weeks, they'll be charged again, they'll be rearrested, and then another bond will be set.
And for you, Chris, have you ever seen anything like this? I mean, and I think they said at one point, because she was on the sofa so long, maybe she ingested some of the sofa, started eating it, and there were other things found, foreign things found in her body that she may have been eating as a result after the autopsy?
That is correct. They found sofa material. They found feces in her stomach. I mean, she was literally just sitting in this pool of rot, just fused there and just left for dead. In the 16 years that I've covered news here in the Baton Rouge community, I've never seen anything like it. When we talked to the coroner, he's been doing this over 40-something years in that parish. He said he's never seen anything like it. So when you think that another human being could leave a loved one or a family member in this type of condition, it really makes you just question what their, what was going on with them. Did they have something going on in their minds to think that this could be normal? And the fact that they could live a normal life outside of the fact that their daughter's rotting away, dying on the sofa. They were going to church, to work, to the grocery store. I mean, just living like you and I would live as normal citizens on a day-to-day basis.
He's for one going to church every Sunday.
Did they allow anyone into the house during the time that she was alive and sitting and just marinating in that stew on the sofa?
This nigga don't.
They did not.
This nigga don't make it no better with his adjectives. Very, very descriptive here.
Anyone into the house during the time that she was alive and sitting and just marinating in that stew on the sofa?
They did not. So we spoke with a lot of neighbors when we started investigating this situation, and they said the last time that they went into that house was probably about 15 years ago. So that was about the time that it stopped. When she stopped going outside and became a recluse and just went into the house, that's when they kind of stopped allowing visitors to come in. But you can only imagine what it was like. The fact that she just rotted into the sofa. They said all the wood floors inside were buckling from feces and urine. They said just the stench permeating throughout that house.
How did they get caught? How did they get caught? Nobody ever did that. I don't remember hearing how they got caught. They just told that she was dead in the corner. But how the fuck did they get caught?
Fuck how they got caught. How the fuck did they live there? How did they live in that house?
That too, but I'm interested in how they got caught though. How did the police arrest them? What happened? What tipped them off? Because the neighbor said they ain't been inside the house in 15 years.
It was the damn smell.
The smell been there for years though.
Fuck that. Hell no. The smell. That's sad. That is so sad.
It was just a smell they will never forget.
Wow, just a horrible situation. Chris Nakamoto with WBRZ TV in Baton Rouge. Thank you again, and thank you for keeping us updated, sir.
I got it covered.
Well, these 5 suspects were charged with murder after a man from the Woodlands was shot dead while staying.
Charged with murder in an Everett setup. 3 females, 2 dudes.
At an Airbnb in Brazoria County, investigators call it an elaborate robbery setup. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry spoke with the victim's family and investigators. He has the update from Freeport tonight.
That shooting victim and his family were staying here in this short-term rental last month, just steps from the beach, when his son and friend brought home 2 young women from the bar. But investigators say it was a setup. They were followed home by 3 more suspects before that robbery turned deadly.
Again, he was my only brother, and I lost him to a senseless tragedy.
45-year-old Larry Ortiz Jr. brought his family to this Freeport beach home the last weekend of January when police sirens drowned out the waves.
This kind of stuff just doesn't happen around there.
Brazoria County Sheriff's deputies responded before dawn January 28th to a home invasion and deadly shooting. The night started hours earlier when investigators say Ortiz's son and his friend met up with these two women at this Freeport bar and agreed to go home together.
We believe they went back to the beach house to engage in sexual relations.
But minutes after they got home, these three stormed inside, demanding money and assaulting the two men. All the commotion woke Ortiz.
He was not the target. He got up to protect his family.
One of the suspects then fatally shot Ortiz with his grandkids in the home before all five took off with $600 and a cell phone in what investigators call a setup that left his brother Gabriel in shock.
The most warm-hearted, kindest, sincere, genuine person that I actually know.
The five suspects are now in the Brazoria County Jail charged with murder. Investigators say all connected through gang activity, some through dating relationships, as the Ortiz family mourns the man they loved.
That's just one step closer to getting justice for Larry.
All five suspects are being held on a $2 million bond. According to investigators, two of them were involved in a similar scheme in Fort Bend County last year, where they were charged with aggravated robbery and got out on bond. In Freeport tonight, I'm Bryce Newberry, KPRC 2 News.
These TikToks.
You better run them donations, baby. Run them donations, baby. Run them donations, baby.
This next one, shocking details emerge on the TikTok couple convicted of murder. TSR investigating updates. Oh, and the truth, it was people in my comment section saying that Jonathan guy is definitely gay. See, they were like, I apologize.
Bars will stay behind bars.
In this case, it was a team effort.
Since we first reported this story back in September, this popular social media couple was just convicted of murdering a 29-year-old man. We now know why authorities say they did it and the family members they took down with them. I'm Justin Carter. This is CSR Investigates Updates. Bureau of Investigations.
When someone is killed and we don't know who has done this, we call it a whodunit.
He says in the end, it came down to these four suspects: 18-year-old Deja Collins, 26-year-old Darius Woods, and 23-year-olds Jonte Collier and Eric Dodds, who are well known for their lives chronicled on social media. About 800,000 followers on TikTok, and they do pretty well on OnlyFans.
And you hurt somebody in our community, this team behind me, we are going to do everything that we can to ensure justice is done.
August 1st, 2022, police were called to a mobile home in Rossville, Georgia, a small town near the Tennessee border. Inside, a lifeless 29-year-old Dakota Bradshaw.
He was known for always having a smile on his face. He graduated near the top of his class in high school, and he was hoping to pursue a career in cybersecurity.
Witnesses told police they heard gunshots and saw two distinct vehicles speed off shortly after the incident, a red pickup truck and a dark-colored sports car that we now know is the focus of this case.
It was a very nice car. It was a late model Dodge Challenger.
That's David Dunn, Jonte Collier's defense attorney, who spoke to the Shade Room exclusively. In court, he says that it was revealed that a man nicknamed Day-Day was staying with Jonte and Eric at their home in Huntsville, Alabama. Day-Day somehow stole the Dodge Charger that belongs to Collier.
He admitted that he had stolen the property. He also admitted that he was a drug addict and that he had lied to the police on several occasions.
But Day-Day didn't know that there were two Apple AirTags placed in the vehicle. One was hidden, the other one was attached to the car keys. Day-Day drove about 100 miles to that friend's house in Rossville, Georgia.
Ultimately, Jonte and Eric were able to locate exactly where the vehicle was parked, and to go to that location. And that's where the incidents occurred.
They took that red pickup truck, this Dodge Ram seen here on social media, and located the car themselves. They brought along their family friend, Deja Collins, and Dodds' older brother, Darius Woods.
Deja gets out and goes to the stolen vehicle. She has a duplicate set of keys. She gets in that vehicle and she drives off in it.
Prosecutors got Deja to testify in exchange for a lesser sentence.
As she was leaving, she heard shots, but neither she nor anyone else said they saw who fired the shots. One of the shots went through the they all went through the wall of the mobile home. One of them went through the wall, through a cabinet, and then hit the young man inside in the chest, killing him.
Bradshaw died a short time later. His girlfriend, who lived inside the home, wasn't harmed.
There's no evidence or indicator even that he was in any way connected with Eric or John Tay.
But the big question, who fired the shot? Dunn says that there was no evidence that his client ever fired, but the jury didn't buy it. I drove up to the Walker County Courthouse and got the official records. On May 23rd, 2023, John Tay Collier and Eric Dodds were both found guilty on 2 counts of felony murder, aggravated assault, and other weapons charges. Darius Woods faces the same charges, but has not been tried, pending the outcome of a separate federal case against him out of state.
The jury reached the verdict, which is not one that I agreed with, but that's their job, not mine.
John is okay. I am okay, you guys. I'm okay. Everything is good. My baby will be home soon. He's not harmed a soul, you guys. As we reported in our original TSR Investigates, this was the last in-person post from Dodds the day before he was arrested and charged. DJ is okay, and we'll be back together and back posting very soon. It's not going to happen anytime soon, although there has been some posts on TikTok thanking their supporters. This caption on April 2nd saying in part, quote, "Unfortunately, we are not home yet due to a lot of lies and false information on a crime we did not commit. We are being mistreated and bashed on a daily because of our skin color and sexuality." And now we did reach out to Dodds' defense team. We're still waiting to hear back, but both Dodds and Collier are expected to be sentenced June 29th. For TSR Investigates Updates, I'm Justin Carter.
Light-skinned niggas terrorizing all the dark-skinned. Dark-skinned terrorizing all the light-skinned niggas. All right. Special treatment.
Check us out at the ship. A suburban woman fought.
Naperville woman sues Bank of America for discrimination over mishandling $24,000 check.
With the Social Security Administration to get a decade's worth of back payments. And she finally won, brought the prize check to a bank, but that set off a whole new battle. CBS 2's Lauren Victory is always investigating.
So this is the check that started it all?
Yes.
A check from the United States Treasury, and it's not a small one.
$24,158.14.
More than $24,000. Getting that piece of paper was supposed to be the hard part. Bringing it to the bank should be a cinch, right?
We should have had the police there to assist us with what was happening.
The details of this puzzling transaction lie in this federal lawsuit claiming discrimination and other wrongdoing by Bank of America. Charlotte Warren says she brought the check to this Naperville bank branch on April 17th. She went back the next day with her daughter to check on the availability of the money and got odd responses.
Went over to the teller. She said, "No, you don't have an account."
There's not much to figure out. It's a government check. It's easy to verify. Her funds should be available right now.
Well, it's nothing we can do. It has to be something you can do.
The Warrens left the bank without the check, without the money, and without answers about if or when they would get the cash. Just talking about it makes Charlotte emotional.
I have nothing after fighting for it all this time. Now I don't have anything, and it's like y'all can just take it and you're okay with that.
Remember, it's Charlotte's disabilities, which include severe asthma, that led to this large check. And listen to what they say a bank manager told them about a possible reason for the hold on the check.
Biggest one that got me was like, yeah, because sometimes they have drug deals. I say,
or criminal activity
linked to the check.
Making matters worse, Bank of America closed her account just days after opening it. Days, weeks, and more than a month passed. The Warrens still remained in the dark. Where's the check? Where's the money? Why won't Bank of America return it? That's when they got an attorney.
What is the basis for this lawsuit?
Charlotte's legal team, including Gail Eisenberg, tried to negotiate with Bank of America, but when the financial giant ignored them, they sued.
We certainly believe that it was intentional discrimination. This is a U.S. Treasury check. So the circumstances under which a hold would have been appropriate are, confounding.
So frustrating to be Black in America and not to just be able to do simple things.
And Charlotte was put through the ringer in trying to simply get what was owed to her. She should not have to file a federal lawsuit just to get the money that she's owed.
For a woman already on disability, where added stress can fuel her asthma, these last 7 weeks have been a nightmare.
I felt like I did something wrong. They made me feel like I was in the wrong. They made me feel like what they said in the office. And it's not right.
Can we see it? Finally, Charlotte got her money back.
And I don't want people to just bow down to intimidation.
But it took 50 days of federal lawsuit and CBS 2 inquiries.
I feel good right now. I feel real good.
So checks from the U.S. Treasury are usually available the next day, but federal rules suggest a hold is possible for up to 9 days. The bank maintains its actions were, quote, consistent with regulatory funds availability requirements, but we could not find, and Bank of America could not provide any rules that allow a bank to hold a check for 50 days. Bank of America tells us it regrets the amount of time it took Charlotte to get her money back. Analytics flagged her account, and a spokesperson says those systems are in place to fight fraud.
The D-Dot bus driver who is facing charges.
All the big companies do. Most people don't have the wherewithal to get a lawyer and sue like this thing. Okay, this one is DDOT, I think it's Detroit. Department of Transportation worker terminated following second deadly pedestrian incident. So he was able to kill one person and they still let him keep his job and kill another one? Makes sense.
After allegedly hitting and killing a woman downtown earlier this month, has a long list of prior accidents while working for the city.
Tonight, our Terrell Bailey spoke with a lawyer who represents the family of a man who was hit and killed in 2015 by this same DDOT driver. The lawyer says the system failed when it allowed her to stay behind the wheel.
Oh, it's a she.
Geraldine Johnson facing a magistrate judge this week. Johnson is.
Damn it, that's all I needed to hear. She old and black.
By this same DDOT driver. The lawyer says the system failed when it allowed her to stay behind the wheel.
Geraldine Johnson facing a magistrate judge this week. Johnson is accused of being behind the wheel June 2nd when a DDOT bus hit a pedestrian near Congress and Griswold downtown. That pedestrian was Janice Bauer. Bauer had been a longtime employee for SMART.
Finds it quite troubling, obviously.
In the arraignment, it was revealed this isn't Johnson's first or second crash, whether in her personal car or bus.
In 2018, 2 in 19, 1 in 20, 1 in 21, 1 in 22, and then we have this matter today. So the court does find you to be a danger.
Johnson was also involved in a 2015 crash, which killed Joey Davis. Ultimately, the city was sued and they settled for $4.5 million.
With the Joey Davis incident, she should not have been allowed to be put in this. This has to be horrible for Ms. Johnson. I mean, she's killed 2 humans.
James Harrington with Figer Law sued on behalf of the Davis family back in 2015. Harrington says after the initial lawsuit, Johnson was taken off the road, but returned full-time in 2017.
This failure with Geraldine Johnson was a systemic failure that led to this. And unfortunately, we gave them the notice that they needed to change, and they chose not to.
We reached out to DDOT hoping to get clarity on how Johnson remained on staff after multiple accidents. In a statement to us, DDOT said in part, since this terrible accident occurred 2 weeks ago, we have been engaged in a full review of Ms. Johnson's record and all related departmental policies and
Fuck up, y'all need to be looking at the rest of y'all driver's record. Fuck Geraldine. She already out the system. She gone. Fuck y'all looking at her record. Gonna do and she fired already.
procedures. Following the accident, Ms. Johnson was terminated. Now, the judge gave Johnson a $100,000 personal bond. She'll also be placed on house arrest. The biggest thing, she is not allowed to drive. Now, Johnson is expected to be in court come August. For now, reporting in Wayne County, I'm Terrell Bailey for CBS News, Detroit.
Learning new information tonight about 6 people who were found dead.
Adults, 3 children dead in murder-suicide. This is Nashville, I think.
Inside of a burning home. Police in Marion County now say it was a murder-suicide, and our Brendan Tierney has the very latest details from investigators.
The medical examiner here in Nashville is working to figure out if the 3 adults and 3 children were shot to death or if they were killed in the fire. The TBI has been brought in to investigate a murder-suicide at this rural Marion County home.
That is terrible.
Sheriff Bo Burnett says they were called about a shooting and found the house up in flames.
The officers broke into the house and pulled some people out.
Bodies of the 6 people that died were brought to Nashville for autopsies. A 7th was taken to the hospital after being shot multiple times. The sheriff says the gunman had an order of protection against him from his estranged wife and wasn't allowed to be at the home.
Officers had to go up there several times, so I can't give you a timeline, but it's been for at least, I would say, a month.
He says the wife, her daughter, and 3 of her grandchildren were killed. Police are trying to figure out what led up to the domestic dispute. The sheriff says you never know when a situation can turn violent.
You can take people to court and have order of protection stuff, but that's not going to stop the violence. So just be prepared. It could turn violent anytime.
The names and ages of the children have not been released. The TBI says the investigation remains active, but there's no threat to the community at this time. In Nashville, Brendan Tierney, WSMV4.
Welcome back here on Live Now.
Of course, we got the 20 people shot at the Juneteenth celebration outside Chicago. They're trying to say Chicago, but outside the suburbs.
From Fox, and I do want to get back to this breaking news that we have been following all throughout the morning here. This is out of Willowbrook, Illinois, about an hour away from Chicago. We know that 1 person has been reported dead and as many as 19 others hospitalized after a shooting in suburban Willowbrook. This happening overnight here, and that is a look at the scene that is still active hours later. Fire officials called to the area of Honeysuckle Rose Lane and Route 83, if you are familiar with that area, around 12:30 this morning local time by victims who are suffering from gunshot wounds. Joe Ostrander, the chief of the Tri-State Fire Department, saying that 2 of the people injured were listed in critical condition. Now, the conditions of those other victims not known just yet. A witness on scene said people were gathered at a party when those shots rang out. We have heard anywhere from between 200 and 300 people gathered there at the time. A man describing it as, quote, chaos. Another witness said it was supposed to be a celebration for Juneteenth. Police are still on the scene investigating this morning, as you see right there. No further information has been released, and at this point, there is no word on whether a news conference will be held. However, we do know several agencies are involved in this ongoing investigation, and as we get more details, we will bring those to you live, raw, and unfiltered right here on Live Now from Fox. But again, 1 person dead, as many as 19 others hospitalized after the shooting in suburban Willowbrook that is just outside of Chicago, about an hour away. So our Fox 32 Chicago team gathering this video for us from the scene.
Now to a story getting a lot of
Trans
Attention now, I want to take you down to the Tar Heel State, North Carolina Senate Committee, passing a bill that bans males from female sports. And our next guest has quite a story. She's a high school girls volleyball player. She's been urging lawmakers to take action after she suffered a concussion and a neck injury back in September from a transgender player spiking the ball during a volleyball game.
I could go on and on about how this incident has affected my life, but I'm not here for that because I'm not here for me. Allowing biological males to compete against biological females is dangerous.
I want to bring in Peyton McNabb, the woman you see there on screen. In person. Welcome to New York.
Thank you.
You're from Murphy, North
We've been
Carolina.
waiting for you.
Yeah, you're in the far western part of the state. First time on an airplane. First time to New York City. You're living life. Back on the 1st of September, I've seen the video. You took a shot.
It's hard for me to watch.
Yeah. What do you remember from that?
I just remember the very, very silent and shocked gym after it happened. I remember the fear from my teammates, knowing that they would have to continue to play the game, even after that incident happened. And I just remember everyone just so not knowing what to do, and it was just very, very traumatizing.
What was your recovery like?
It was hard. It's very slow. It's been very difficult, not being able to get back into things as I have in the past. So it's been very difficult, but thankfully I'm improving.
Did you know immediately when it happened? Did you know you were playing against a transgender?
Yes, we did.
Okay. So, and then that happens, and had you been concerned about the strength of this individual before the game?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so. But we couldn't just refuse the game since it was a conference game. So we had to continue to play them, even though none of us wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So it was definitely.
So during warm-ups, right? You're checking out the other team. They're on the other side of the court. What did you see, and what did you think of that player's performance?
It was obviously a lot different than what we've been seeing the rest of the season or the rest of the years I've been playing. I was very used to it, though, at that point, because he's the same age as me. So we played together all 4 years against them. But I just remember seeing how, the fear, and especially our younger players on the team who've never played against them before.
Wow.
So just seeing how scared they were, it was really heartbreaking.
Did you hear from that individual afterwards?
I hadn't heard from them at all until a week after I spoke out for the first time. They sent me a message on Instagram, and it was very hateful. There's no remorse at all, and
angry towards you for saying something that biological males should not be allowed to play against in female sports.
Yes.
Well, the State House has taken action, and now the Senate looks like it will as well. You got a Democratic governor in Roy Cooper. Do you think he would agree with the lawmakers in the State House to ban?
No, definitely not. He definitely will not agree with this whole situation. So everyone's already expecting that.
It's a topic of national conversation. It came up at the White House the other day, and here was the question and answer.
What would the president say to parents out there who have daughters, say from high school, for example, who are worried that their daughter may have to compete against a male and worry about their daughter's safety?
That is a dangerous thing to say, that essentially transgender kids we're talking about are dangerous.
I know you're in high school. I grant you that. But what do you think about a comment like that, saying it's dangerous after what you experienced?
I think it's very, very hypocritical. I think she's taken what others have said about how this is dangerous for us, and she's essentially switched it around and played the victim from the situation, which I expect nothing less from that whole administration. So,
I just want to end with this question, because I noticed that you said that you're
Who's sent you that administration? You're not that into politics, ma'am. Stop the cap.
here in New York for yourself, and you didn't speak out for yourself. Tell us why you are doing this. Why does this matter to you?
So I'm doing this because I don't want anyone else to have to ever go through what I went through. And even the thought of it happening to my younger sister who's going into high school, or, my other family members, my teammates, if that happened to any of them, it would just infuriate me. So just the thought of that, and I just don't think this is something that we should even have to be talking about.
Well, it's not resolved yet,
No.
and it may not be.
But you're a part of an attempt at a solution, Peyton. We thank you for being here, and we thank your dad for being here too. Happy Father's Day to you, sir.
Pops is over in the corner.
All right. Thank you, Peyton.
Thank you for having me.
We begin with the large
What about now, Miss Staley?
protest outside Dodger Stadium over the decision to honor a
Yeah, protesters march outside Dodger Stadium hours before Pride Night. They've been protesting the MLB for the longest about this.
controversial group of Pride Night.
Hundreds of people making their voices heard even before the first pitch. Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Fisher live outside Dodger Stadium with more on what has some Catholics so upset. Michelle?
Well, there are thousands, a few thousand people here for this demonstration, a protest. One person telling us, though, it is more like a prayer service or a prayer vigil because they do come with a peaceful message, but they are making their message and their voices. What's going on behind me. This is Stadium Way. So a lot of people that are making their way to tonight's Pride events will have to pass this protest on their way to the stadium. They actually, this group getting ready to march to the stadium right now around 5 o'clock. They tell me they'll be walking up the street to the stadium.
Just looking into the stream yards, and I don't think I had the right setting on. Something different. What about now? Yeah, I think I got time.
Still low.
Still low?
Now, right there, you're fine.
What the hell?
No, that you're good right there, but it's for some reason when you first start talking, it's very low.
What about now?
Better, much better.
Well, I think it's because I had to change the settings on my phone, which I'd never have to do. Okay, you live, you learn. What about now?
Great. How's the chat hearing it? Is it good?
Yeah, they say I sound better. What about now? It works my whisper.
I thought you were just using your moist voice.
I am not. Start this damn story back over.
Live outside Dodger Stadium with more on what has some Catholics so upset. Michelle?
Well, there are thousands, a few thousand people here for this demonstration, a protest. One person telling us, though, it is more like a prayer service or a prayer vigil because they do come with a peaceful message, but they are making their message and their voices heard loud and clear. I'm going to actually step a bit out of the way so you can see what's going on behind me. This is Stadium Way. So a lot of people that are making their way to tonight's Pride events will have to pass this protest on their way to the stadium. They actually, this group getting ready to march to the stadium right now around 5 o'clock. They tell me they'll be walking up the street to the stadium, carrying their signs and voicing their message. We also want to take a look at some Air 7 HD video to give you a look of what it looks like overhead and how large this crowd is overhead and what it looks like as, again, a few thousand protesters, many of them Catholics, are marching in response to the group, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, being included in tonight's Dodgers Pride Night.
So it's important to understand that this is a prayer and not a protest. We're basically praying for the so-called nuns.
This group of a few thousand demonstrators is being vocal tonight about their issues with the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence and the group's inclusion in Dodgers Pride Night.
We should be tolerant of everybody. Likewise, they should be tolerant of our faith and our feelings.
Shirts and signs sprinkled in the crowd calling for a boycott of the Dodgers after the team invited the sisters to accept a Community Hero Award as part of tonight's festivities.
The Dodgers are doing, allowing this group to be here. It goes against the Catholic faith.
It's going to do that. Oh, they upset because it's a gay nuns. But in real life, the church has to know they produce a whole bunch of lesbians. They just got a whole bunch of women staying in the house together till they grow old. They have to know what they're producing. They gotta stop. But yeah, the Catholics mad because these nuns is gay and they prideful. They wearing their lingerie and stuff with their little collars, and that's why the Catholics mad.
With the Muslim group, no one would put up with that.
Boosters telling KABC at last week's Angels Pride Night the entire house plans to attend tonight's Dodgers game. This after a controversial back and forth that saw the sisters initially invited by team, then uninvited, then finally re-invited amid backlash. Inside.
How do I sound now?
Now you sound good, but when you first start talking, it's low.
Oh, I think probably because I have to wait for the. Yeah, I see what it is. I believe.
Stadium Dodgers manager Dave Roberts addressing the controversy.
I do think that we should still all be able to coexist.
The delay help. He just is damn clown.
Yeah, again, it's soft.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. I got to get Quita to do my system. Systems check. Make sure I ain't got hacked. No, I don't know what the fuck that is. Whatever.
And for me, and as the manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers, a baseball team, we welcome anyone that comes through these gates to support our ball club.
Dunbar High student charged in mass shooting. I don't know where Dunbar High is.
A big story we're following tonight, arrested at his own high school. A disturbing update as Baltimore City Police take an 18-year-old into custody at Dunbar High. This in connection to multiple murders, they say, including the killing of a young boxer. WJZ Live just outside with much more on the arrest of 18-year-old Jabray Griffith. And Alex, what can you tell us about these charges tonight?
Well, Rick, if you remember back in April, a 15-year-old was charged with first-degree murder and 5 counts of attempted first-degree murder in connection to the mass shooting that happened on Edmonton Avenue back in March. And that shooting claimed the life of local boxer Ernest Hall and left 5 other people injured. Today, we learned that police believe that that 18-year-old Dunbar student also participated in that shooting, in addition to another shooting that happened 24 hours later. Jabray Griffith remains in custody Tuesday after his arrest last week at Dunbar High School, where he's a student. Griffith is facing 32 charges in connection to 2 shootings, including 2 counts of murder and 6 counts of attempted murder. Police believe Griffith participated in shootings less than 24 hours apart, which left 2 men dead and 6 others injured in Baltimore. Ernest Hall is one of the men Griffith is charged with killing. Hall was a local boxer who was beloved in Baltimore.
Ernest was a superstar in society, not only in the boxing community. He was a good person.
Police also believe Jabray Griffith shot and killed Micah Strong and wounded a second victim in the 5400 block of York Road, less than 24 hours after the mass shooting on Edmonton Avenue. According to charging documents, police executed a search warrant on the vehicle Griffith drove to school on the day of his arrest. Investigators found a loaded .40 caliber handgun with a wiped serial number, 2 plastic bags containing a green plant substance suspected to be cannabis, a Tupperware bowl containing a white powdery substance suspected to be heroin or fentanyl, and a digital scale. As a result of that search, Griffith is facing additional gun and drug-related charges.
And I sure hope they really give this guy a very stiff penalty, the stiffest they can possibly do.
And police have not indicated a motive in either shooting that they believe Griffith participated in. They say that both investigations are still ongoing. In downtown Baltimore, Alex Place, WJZ.
Some of you might have heard about it.
Driver in crash that killed 5 women
Breaking news now, the man
is now booked in jail.
police say blew a red light and hit and killed 5 young women in Minneapolis has been arrested and booked into jail. Let's get right to Lou Ragoose with the latest. Lou?
Julie, 27-year-old Derek John Thompson, the son of former Minnesota State Representative John Thompson, was booked into the Hennepin County Jail this afternoon on suspicion of murder, according to Minneapolis police, after he was discharged from the Hennepin County Medical Center. And he has a history of fleeing police and causing serious injury to others. This MnDOT video shows a vehicle police say was going 100 miles an hour, leave 35W, and smash into another vehicle on Lake Street Friday night, killing all 5 people inside. Sources say the driver of the speeding car was 27-year-old Derek John Thompson, the son of former Minnesota State Representative John Thompson. Derek Thompson has been convicted twice in Minnesota of fleeing police, in one case admitting he'd smoked marijuana.
And horrific scene.
After the Lake Street crash, Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara said police suspect impaired driving.
Absolutely reckless, and we suspect the driver is impaired.
Surveillance video of the crash itself shows the victim's car was almost all the way through the intersection when the speeding car went right through the red light and smashed right into him. That video, recorded by a Metro Transit camera, was leaked to Alpha News reporter Liz Collin and posted on social media, prompting Chief O'Hara to say an investigation into that has now been opened. As for Derek Thompson, those who've researched his record might be surprised he was free because he was convicted in California of fleeing police in 2018 and hitting a pedestrian, putting her in a coma. He received an 8-year prison sentence in 2020, and it's unclear how long he served before being released. And the California district attorney who prosecuted Derek Thompson said their state passed a bill in 2016 that gives
Couldn't have been out that long. He couldn't have served that long because it's 2023 and he was out to do it all over again. State
prisoners a much earlier release. Charges for the Lake Street fatal crash could come in Hennepin County as early as tomorrow. Julie?
All right. Thank you, Lou.
Moment caught on camera, creeping.
This is the one. Video captures woman accused of luring child impersonating CPS worker. Just in broad daylight in your front yard.
Now, one local family and now leading to criminal charges. A Norwood family says this woman tried to lure their 4-year-old son away from home. WCPO 9 News anchor Brett Bagansky shows us the evidence now being used against her in court.
He's like, Mommy, there's some lady here that wants to talk to you.
This is surveillance video from Jamie and Tim Spradlin's homes. You see their 4-year-old son running inside the house to get his mom.
She shows me a badge that says her name.
This was Saturday afternoon near Ralston and Ross, Norwood.
She proceeds to rattle off my children's names.
Then she asked Jamie if she can come in.
She said, I have to make sure that the children are safe for this home.
The woman said she was following up on a complaint filed against them, but didn't leave her contact info.
Jamie felt like something wasn't right. So what they ended up doing is going back to their cameras. And after looking at the video, they ended up feeling even more uneasy about what happened.
Minutes earlier, she's on camera talking to their 4-year-old son, touching him, has her arm around him, at times stroking his hair.
Creeps us out a little bit. It's gut-wrenching.
I'm absolutely sick to my stomach.
The woman asked her son 3 different times to come home with her. You see her son throw his hands up, run into the house, and that's when Jamie comes out. And the woman identified herself as a CPS worker.
Now we followed through and found out that she is not from CPS, that everything was a lie.
Norwood police identified the woman on camera as 44-year-old Lisa Necrelli, who was in the Hamilton County Jail charged with child enticement.
Your intention was clearly to take my son, to convince him to walk down the street with you to this house, which I didn't even know you lived this close, which is terrifying in itself.
WCPO 9 News confirmed Necrelli lives blocks away from them.
I've told them over and over, you know all those bad words that mommy says? You scream those at the top of your lungs. You know why? Because it's going to grab some. I've told them over and over, you know, all those bad words that mommy says, you scream those at the top of your lungs. You know why? Because it's going to grab.
Yep, she's white. You guessed it.
Somebody's attention that you're in trouble.
And while they still feel traumatized about what happened, they're thankful their son's instincts kicked in. In Norwood, Brett Pagansky,
Been hearing about this old submarine thingy. These are some couple stories before they got to it. Today, were saying they're assuming everybody's dead because they found debris.
Everyone's dead.
Was from it. Yeah, they said they're assuming they did, but I wanted. This is some whistleblowers from it, and what the CEO said of it. She got videos of them.
So
out of here.
They put this thing together, right, with old NASA parts, camping equipment, and the way you drive it, they have a off-brand PS3 controller. Yes.
How much did it cost to make that thing?
A couple million. It costs $250,000 to ride in it. So there was.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I heard about that part.
Yeah, 4 people paid to be on there, or 5 people paid to be on there. So that's what, $1 million. And they were supposed to go down to the wreck of the Titanic, look at it, take some pictures, and then come back up.
At 1.2 million to be exact.
But it's not, so it's not tethered to anything. So it's a freestanding lift goes out, and then that thing departs from the lift and goes down by itself. Now, normally things like that are on a cable so that they can pull it back up. But this one is a remote, so it drives itself, or you drive it to where you want it to go. They said they died the day it disappeared.
Now here's one guy says, every trip I've taken, there was a problem. Former Titanic travelers reveal issues.
Okay,
controller with that joystick.
Huh?
This is their 4th trip in that thing. So they've used this thing 3 times prior to them using it today. And they said maybe 1 or 2, and you'd probably be good, but 3 or 4, you're pushing it. It imploded, and if you don't, imploded means that it shrunk. It got crushed by the water pressure.
The ocean killed it.
Yeah.
From a gaming system, a home gaming, you steer the ship with a controller with a joystick from a gaming system, a home gaming system. There's special training just to learn how to get into an escape suit, in and out of that. It's a very tough thing to get into these kind of warm weather coveralls that will float you with. You have to bail from a ship or escape from a submarine. Beyond that, no real training. When we went down, it was just the work.
This guy talking, I'm saying, so he's taking more than 1 trip based on the damn title. He said, every trip I've taken, there was a problem. And they say he's a former traveler.
I think he means all of. I don't think he means in that one because the even the well the one of the people that died was the actual CEO of the company.
He deserves to be dead.
So one of the guys is one of the richest men in India. Another guy is a billionaire. That's the one that his son is like going off right now, or his stepson. I'm sorry, his stepson is just doing the most right now. He's on TikTok talking shit and everything else. But you know, he says I don't have $100 to my name right now, but maybe
He's
that'll
not gonna
change.
be homeless.
Yeah,
he's not
maybe,
gonna be homeless.
Yeah, maybe that'll change tomorrow.
He's not gonna be Mike.
Communication problems on every trip I've taken. Of the 4 separate dives I've taken with Ocean Gate, every time there was a problem with at least, sporadically communicating with the surface. And again, I don't think that's their fault as much as just that's the nature of the beast. When you're going 1,000 feet or 13,000 feet underwater, you're going to lose contact for a while.
Before we went, we had never seen the sub. We didn't know anything about it. There's very little information on the website. I didn't know at that point that you drive the thing with an Xbox game controller. I didn't know that the ballast was, used construction pipes. And then you get the tour, and Stockton Rush, the designer of the sub, the CEO, explains to you that all of this stuff, the lights and the handles and the propellers, these are off-the-shelf parts. Because, well, not only are they inexpensive, but they're tried and true. They're mass-produced. The part we care about is the pressure vessel, the capsule where the people are. And that he designed with NASA and the University of Washington. And that, he says, is as locked down as it gets. His exact words were, everything else can fail. The lights can go out, the propellers can stop, but you will still be alive. You are bolted in from the outside. There are 18 bolts in a circle around the hatch. And by the way, they only fasten 17 of them. The 18th one is way up high, and they say there's really no mathematical difference. So you're right. The really nightmarish scenario is that they are alive at the surface, bobbing away, running out of air, and unable to get out.
So they bolt them inside, and you have to wait for someone to come and open the thing back up.
Yeah, it just sounds like a failure waiting to happen. It's amazing they got 4 trips.
I mean, I didn't like when they made me jump in the ocean. I got out as soon as I can. I don't want to be in there because there's things in there that are supposed to be there that don't want me there. So I could just imagine someone saying, get inside this metal coffin and go down 12,000 feet. So you could look at a wrecked ship. I'd be like, it's all right. You can take some pictures and I'll look at those. Hello?
My bad. Last one is, I think this is the CEO. That's why I said he deserves to be dead because of his philosophy. Oh no, take the one. No. See it, son of a biscuit.
You steer the ship.
No, that's not it. It was something about what the CEO about it had said. He was talking about the Suds. He was saying something. Damn it. Deleted it. Stockton Rush. He said safety or something was relative. Something there of that nature. I'm trying to find it. There it is. Safety is relative, is what the CEO of the submarine company told me during my trip. Well, at least he went down with every mission.
Think about it, there's very little in from box game controller. I didn't know that your mood crashes and you get this mass produced. Everything else can fail. I was so panicked, which is very unlike me, that I did not sleep at all. I was completely trashed on the day of the dive. But once I was in the sub with Stockton and the scientists and the crews outside doing what they had rehearsed over and over, I felt okay. I felt excited. I felt like they wouldn't do this if it was really dangerous. I knew that during the first season, they had a situation where the people were...
They true.
Yeah.
I know this white man didn't just say, oh, white people wouldn't be doing it if it was dangerous. Y'all bungee jump. Well, not you. You're not included. But white people bungee jump. They invented going out on the Serengeti, just riding around in Jeeps, letting lions walk past them and shit on safaris. What are they talking about? They invented the petting zoo.
They built this thing.
I don't think that would be doing it if it was unsafe.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's why the CEO went, because he's like, well, let me show these people that this is safe. Guess he's regretting that now.
No, he's not. He's dead. He doesn't know he's dead.
Inside the sub for 27 hours on the surface just because it was too wavy to pull them back onto the ship. And they were fine. Like, they played games, they played music, they went to sleep. They stayed in there for 27 hours. So I feel like worst case, what's going to happen, we have an adventure that we tell our kids about. Yeah, you are bolted in from the outside. There are 18 bolts in a circle around the hatch. And by the way, they only fasten 17 of them. The 18th one is way up high, and they say there's really no mathematical difference. So you're right. The really nightmarish scenario is that they are alive at the surface, bobbing away, running out of air, and unable to get out. Look, safety is relative. If you But as he told me, look, safety is relative. If you want complete safety in your life, don't get out of bed. That's what he said. So the people who go on these expeditions are not tourists. I mean, I know a lot of your viewers are horrified by the concept of getting into an enclosed, bolted-in minivan 2.5 miles down, but it's not for you. It's for really rich adventurer people who live for Blue Origin rocket rides and volcanoes and swimming with sharks. It's for people who define their lives by risk. So
all those things are safe. Shit, I don't think they would be doing it if it was unsafe. Shit, me, white people are crazy.
it's really not meant to be a consumer tourist outfit.
Most critical component of the sub is safe and capable of handling depths down to 4,000 meters repeatedly.
So in general, it's tragic, and I deeply feel for the families and the kids of these men. but I have to say it comes with the life of a risk taker.
Oh, that guy is David Pogue, CBS correspondent who had the liberties of writing on it before.
Would you like swim with sharks?
I would do some shit like that though. I ain't gonna lie. In the fully thing, the cage, I'd do some shit like that.
Man, them
Hammerheads
things
though.
they come to that cage like the bust it open.
I do hammerheads. I ain't messing with no great whites.
I ain't messing with none of them.
See, at least with the hammerhead, they get their little head through there. They gonna damn near break they whatever their thing is. They got to do some twisting to get up in there.
Okay, so the sub is able to go down to 13,123 feet. That's 4,000
below
meters, right? That's 4,000 meters, 13,123. The problem is that the Titanic is at 12,500 feet. So you're
did they
not
ever get down there in the first place to take the pictures then?
No. They lost contact. They lost contact 2.5 hours in, which put them about halfway because it takes about 4 hours to get down to the Titanic. Because you can't just go in one shot because
pressure.
So you have to level out and then go down and go down. So you have to wait a little bit. So they said about 2.5 hours in when they believed that it imploded. So they were only halfway there. But they said it was quick. They said that it was quick.
I'm sure it was. They
Yeah.
crushed.
Yeah.
Boot to ant. That's all I had for the evening. Spicy upload. That's all I had for the evening. Strange news stories. I'm gonna try to wake back up at 7 and do the Millie coverage.
E. Brooks said that Truth said Tony would protect her in the rainforest. Is that true, Tony?
He said it.
If I had some ammunition, not what would they live with, just a knife. No.
They don't know if it imploded at 9,500 feet. They're just guessing. There's no way to possibly even tell when that thing. But they did say that they heard something, but they didn't know what it was, and that's the ship itself. Because when that thing launches, the only one out there is the vessel that launches the sub. Nobody else is out there with them. It's just them. And they didn't tell anybody they were missing until, I guess, like a couple hours after they had lost contact with them. If I'm going to spend $250,000, I want state-of-the-art equipment. Not camping equipment, NASA throwaways, and a PS3 controller.
Now, what you planning on doing with this? They must have had the throwaway pods from NASA first going to the moon. Anyway,
Yeah,
what's your show about tomorrow?
I'm gonna review all the lies that she told on us.
Have you put out that video you emailed me? That shit was funny because she said the stupidest shit ever.
Yes, that actually has almost 1,400 views on, or actually 1,400 views on.
That motherfucker said, of course she ain't gonna say her name because she got an open court case.
Yeah, does that make any sense?
I said, what? Does that make court case that's been dismissed and you can't say their name?
Yeah, but in one breath she says it was dismissed, and another breath she says it's an open case. So what is it? Is it an open
In
case?
another
or is it
breath, she
dismissed?
said she can't say her name because of the open case that's been dismissed, but then called us stupid motherfuckers.
Yeah, pretty much. And that she knows what all of us look like. She knows what
Who
I look like.
cares?
She knows.
We know what you look like, bitch. Nobody cares.
Yeah, she's on the screen right now. And look, doesn't that helmet fits so nicely on her head?
That's custom made.
But she's saying that she can't wait to tell everybody who I really am.
Happy birthday, Ricky.
Thank you.
You should have left that helmet off, left her ass bald head.
I have that too, but the helmet fits so nice. It fits so nice. Look how natural that helmet looks on her head.
She throwing up Delta or some shit.
That's the Mr. Evil.
Oh, I know. I'm just.
I'm gonna do a side by side of those two with the ball head though, with no helmet on, just the ball head.
Boy, it doesn't matter what it is. If we doing it, she has to talk about it. That's the amazing, sad part about it. Fuck you and Phil. You know what? You son of a bitch. Thank you, Helmet Head. Thank you for this, D-True. That's the perfect song to go out. Holla at y'all tomorrow.
All right.
See
you tomorrow.
I can't stand feelings. Oh God, man, I hate that bitch. Oh God, I don't give a fuck. I hate her guts. She can suck my dick. Oh God, fuck her boyfriend Tommy. He can get it too. Fuck Local Libra, Unspoken Purpose. Fuck your entire crew. Oh God, PP stay talking. Now she getting sued. Corporate lunches, drawn on edges, stressed out eating food. Bitch, she was fucking her uncle. Fucking him night and day. She slept in the bed with him. She even called him babe. She was fucking her uncle. Fucking him night and day. Then she got pregnant. Had to send the child away. I can't stand feelings. Oh God, man, I hate that bitch. Oh God, I don't give a fuck. I hate her guts. She can suck my dick. Oh God, fuck her boyfriend Tommy. He can get it too. Fuck Local Libra, Unspoken Purpose, fuck your entire crew. Oh God, PP stay talking, now she getting sued. Corporate lunches, drawn on edges, stressed out eating food. Bitch, she was fucking her uncle, fucking him night and day. She slept in the bed with him, she even called him babe. She was fucking her uncle, fucking him night and day. Then she got pregnant, had to send the child away. She was fucking her uncle, fucking him night and day. She slept in the bed with him, she even called him babe. Had to send her away. She was fucking her uncle, fucking him night and day. Then she got pregnant, had to send the child away. She sent her away. She was fucking her uncle, fucking him night and day. She slept in the bed with him, she even called him babe. She was fucking her uncle, fucking him night and day. That shit money, boy. Then she got pregnant.